A perfect sweet treat for an Easter brunch is a carrot muffin. Today I'm going to share a moist, easy, gluten-free carrot muffin. So the first step is I'm going to add all the dry ingredients into my bowl here. I've got 100 grams of ground almonds or almond flour, and I've got 150 grams of the light buckwheat flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and my flavourings or spices here, I've got half a teaspoon of ground ginger, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. I love cinnamon, but if you don't want so much, you can add 1 teaspoon. And I've got 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And I've just grated my nutmeg, some fresh grated nutmeg, and that's about 1/4 teaspoon. And I'm also going to add some walnuts. I've roasted these in the oven for about 5 minutes, and I've just chopped them up finely before we started, and that's half a cup. So I'm just going to whisk all those together to get that combined. And I've got 150 grams of brown sugar. If you clicked on for the first time, my name's Sue and I love baking with alternative flours, and I have a friend who can't eat wheat, and so we're seeing her for brunch on Saturday, so I'm making these muffins to take to see her. So that's all my dry ingredients. I've also left 1/4 cup of chopped walnuts. I'm just going to add them to the top. I don't like frosting on muffins. I find it too sweet, especially when you want to have it for brunch or breakfast. So I'm just going to keep them quite healthy. I'm going to add in my carrots. I've got 175 grams. That was about 3 medium-sized carrots. Sometimes I add up to 200 grams, just depending on what I've got in my fridge. In here, I've got my oil, 60 grams. I've got rapeseed in the cupboard today. You can do coconut oil, you can do melted butter, whatever you like. It's quite flexible. And I'm going to add 2 eggs in there. Just want to mix those together a little bit. And here I've got some soy milk, 120 grams. I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. This is all my wet ingredients. Now I've swapped the quantity of the oil from some of my other recipes. I had lots of oil and I thought I wanted to make it with less oil, so that I've added the milk instead to give it the moisture. Okay, now I'm going to mix all of that into here. And we don't need a stand mixer or beaters or anything. We're just going to do it all by hand. And if you've played around with different flours and you think, oh no, Sue, it looks a bit dry, just add a little bit more milk, a tablespoon or 2 at a time. Now, because I've added the walnuts today, sometimes I don't add them. I'm going to actually add a little bit more milk. So I'm going to add a tablespoon. So I'm using unsweetened soy. You can use any plant-based milk or regular milk, whatever you prefer. I was using oat milk for many years, and then I found that soy milk agrees with me better. It's thick, but it's loose to mix. So I've got my muffin tray here with my little patty cakes. What I like to do is I like to add a scoop with my ice cream scoop into each one. Then I go back and do a half a scoop. I don't like huge muffins, but if you wanted bigger ones, you can do 2 scoops. I'm going to go back and give them all half a scoop extra. And for the final treat, we just add the little crunch to the top. Time to bake the muffins. Let's bake them for 20 minutes. They'll still continue to cook when I bring them out, and we don't want to overcook them so they're dry. The 20-minute timer went off, so let's just check them. I want to see if they're cooked in the middle. They still feel moist. I'm going to let them sit because they're so hot, the pan will still keep cooking them for another 5 minutes. So it's better to let them sit here and be moist than overcook them in the oven. So the muffins are all cool, and I've just cut one open, and I'll do a photograph above. They're really moist and spongy. The texture and the flavour is delicious. I love the ground almonds with the buckwheat. The sweetness of the almonds counteracts the nuttiness or the bitterness of the buckwheat. And I love the little crunch on top. And jam-packed full of spices. Yum. I'm going to release this very soon, just in time for Easter, which is on the weekend. Give it a go and let me know in the comments below what you think. And don't forget, if you want to reduce the sugar, feel free to reduce the sugar. Pop over to simmeryp.com and I've got the full recipe there, and I've got some baking tips right at the end if you need to make modifications like for vegan or lower sugar. And I'll pop some other links for recipes above for gluten-free. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.